In the present, Wally breaks down in front of Barry's remains, overwhelmed by guilt and fear as voices in his head remind him he's being hunted. Spotting glowing boomerangs, he hopes it's his dad, only to realize it's another rogue trap. The boomerangs were trackers, zeroing in on his location. In a nearby cavern, Boomerang controls the weapons remotely, locking in on Wally's position. Captain Cold seals off Wally's escape routes with a blast from his freeze gun, coordinating with Digger and Glider to corner him. Glider stands ready, but Digger grows uneasy, sensing something's off about the whole mission. Meanwhile, the boomerangs close in on Wally's location, zeroing in. They fire without hesitation, forcing Wally to make a desperate run for it. Wally runs past Captain Cold's icy blockade in a panic, begging for a way out and wishing he could undo everything. He pleads that he didn't mean to hurt anyone, that it all happened too fast. As he bolts toward another exit, Glider stands ready to intercept. She lunges at him with her glowing blades, but just as she makes contact, Wally phases mid-stride, vanishing in a blur of lightning. He manages to break free from the cavern and sprints into the open, his speed leaving Glider far behind. Determined, she launches after him again with the boomerangs in pursuit. As Wally runs, he feels his body surging with unstable energy. His thoughts spiral. He's always sensed something was wrong, but now it feels like he's on the verge of falling apart. The faster he runs, the more he believes it's the only thing holding him together. Surrounded by the rogues and pinned down by ice and boomerangs, Wally is at his breaking point. Captain Cold steps forward, signaling that the chase is over. But inside, Wally is spiraling, blaming himself, feeling shattered, and convinced there's no way back. As his emotions surge, he begins to glow with unstable energy. He braces himself, knowing he has to move before it's too late. Overwhelmed and pushed to his limit, Wally unleashes a massive surge of energy, likely tied to the Speed Force. The explosion is raw and blinding, warping everything around him in a storm of lightning and force. The boomerangs are instantly disintegrated in the blast. We transition to the past, caught in the chaos of the Speed Force storm. Wally spots Barry in the distance and desperately calls out to him. As the energy swirls around them, Barry reaches out, urging Wally to take his hand and hold on. The two begin to draw closer through the torrent of lightning and color. Wally, shaken and emotional, calls Barry's name again. Barry responds, his voice filled with concern, calling back to Wally through the storm. They fail to connect, and Wally disappears. Back in the lab, Barry stands in stunned silence as Rudy, Wally's father, arrives, furious and heartbroken. He demands to know what Barry did to his son. Barry tries to explain, but Rudy doesn't wait. He lashes out and punches Barry across the face. Rudy furiously continues his assault on Barry, shouting that he warned him to stay away from Wally. Fueled by grief and rage, he blames Barry for dragging his son into danger. Barry tries to reason with him, but Rudy is too far gone. Suddenly, Rudy is distracted by something off-panel, pausing mid-attack as both he and Barry look toward the unexpected interruption. They watch in stunned silence as Wally begins to reappear, his form hovering in mid-air, glowing and flickering within a stream of Speed Force energy. Wally calls out to his dad. Rudy, overwhelmed with emotion, reassures him that everything is going to be okay. Wally fully reappears in the lab, but the reunion quickly turns chaotic as he screams in pain, overwhelmed by the unstable Speed Force within him. Barry tries to reach out and calm him, urging him to focus and stay grounded. Wally, however, panics, begging them to stay back. His body surges with volatile energy. In a burst of power, he lashes out again, yelling for everyone to stay away. Back in the desert, he regains consciousness, confused and calling out for Barry and his dad. The rogues, now shielded in protective bubbles, regroup around Barry, trying to make sense of what just happened. Jesse smugly reminds the group that he warned them about Wally's instability. In the final panel, she casually tosses a device toward Wally with a snide remark, hinting at another move to restrain or control him. Wally gets trapped inside a containment bubble launched by Jesse, who coldly tells him they'll let him out once he's back at Fort Fox for experimentation. Wally pleads that he doesn't want to hurt anyone, but warns that he will if forced. In a sudden burst of speed and power, He shatters the bubble with ease. As he bolts across the desert, Glider immediately launches into pursuit. Glider pushes herself to the limit, nearly closing the gap on Wally, confident nothing can outrun her. But Wally feels her closing in and instinctively accelerates even faster. His eyes lock forward, fully focused. In a flash, he blasts ahead, leaving Glider stumbling and crashing behind him. As he runs, he begins to feel unmoored in time, experiencing the present, the past in Barry's lab, and a cherished childhood memory with both his parents. He sees himself as a kid on his dad's shoulders at the fair, with his mom alive and their family whole. In that moment, he feels complete, not broken, not lost. But that piece slips away, and he's back in the present, still running, still afraid. Then suddenly, something shifts. Wally surges forward through time, witnessing two possible futures. In one, he stands tall as a celebrated hero, inspiring crowds and bringing hope. In the other, he sees a twisted, monstrous version of himself surrounded by destruction and ruin. He realizes he's standing at a crossroads, two tomorrows, two worlds, and he's left questioning which one he's truly becoming. Wally stumbles and crashes into the desert ground, clearly shaken and exhausted. As he lies there, confused and overwhelmed, he questions what's happening to him. The fear of losing control creeps in as he wonders what he's becoming. Off in the distance, someone watches silently, uttering a quiet tisk. Captain Cold, fed up with the chaos, gives the order to release their final backup. Boomerang hesitates, questioning the decision, but ultimately complies by unlocking the containment unit. As the heavy doors creak open, a shadowy figure with glowing eyes begins to emerge from the darkness. Captain Cold grimly acknowledges the risk but insists they have no other choice. With a chilling command, he orders Grodd released. As the containment door fully opens, out steps the Absolute Universe's version of Gorilla Grodd. Unexpectedly small, wide-eyed, and far less intimidating in appearance than expected. With a curious eek, he scratches his head, revealing a playful, almost mischievous demeanor. The scene ends with an amusing twist on a feared name.